Good evening, everyone, and welcome to FPSB India's monthly webinar series. I'm Sanya Chavan, Manager Certifications and Engagements at FPSB India, and I'm delighted to be your host today for today's session. We are excited to present an insightful discussion today on Gift City and NSE IX, Expanding Horizons and Opportunities, featuring an esteemed industry leader here with us today who will shed light on the evolving financial landscape and global investment opportunities. So today's session will cover the role of NSEIX within Gift City and its impact on international investments, the latest financial products and regulatory developments shaping the industry, and also how CFP professionals can leverage these opportunities for their practice. So let me introduce our distinguished guest speaker for today's webinar here. It's an honor to welcome Ms. Bhawika Wanchoo, Chief Regulatory Officer at NSEIX. She holds a master's degree in management studies with specialization in finance from BITS Pilani. Bhavika is a veteran in stock exchange space with a career spanning more than 2.5 decades. She has also held key leadership roles in various regional offices at NSE, which included handling broker compliance, inspections, investor grievance, and arbitration services, to name a few. In her current role as Chief Regulatory Officer at NSEIX, she is leveraging her experience to contribute to policymaking and setting up regulatory best practices which are at par with global exchanges. To moderate this engaging session with us, we have Amisha Sethi, Senior Vice President, Policy and Communications at FPSB India. She is a global marketing leader with 21 years of experience, a fitness enthusiast and award-winning actor, and the author of the national bestseller, It Doesn't Hurt to Be Nice. Recognized amongst India's top 50 brand leaders 2012 by Bloomberg and CMO Asia, she's also a TEDx speaker. Before joining FPSB India, Amisha has held key leadership roles, including VP of Global Marketing and Customer Relations at Inflict, VP of Global Marketing at Locus, Director of Asia Pacific Brand Marketing at BlackBerry, Chief Commercial Officer at AirAsia, and a National Marketing Manager at Airtel. She has also worked with Frol Incorporated, an AI and deep learning startup. An executive scholar from Kellogg School of Management, she holds an MBA from MIT Business School and a science degree from Delhi University. Amisha was crowned Mrs. India Worldwide 2021 and received the Dada Sai Phalke Best Actress Award 2024 for the film Meher. So with that, I now hand it over to Amisha to take this discussion forward. Over to you, Amisha.
Amisha, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much, Sanya, for the warm introduction, and thank you so much to all the CFP professionals who have been able to come down today and have been hearing us today. It's an honor, Bhavika, to host you today. You are an incredible woman leader, and I have done my bit of homework on you, and it's spectacular. Your career has been spectacular, and it'll be a huge learning experience for us. Talking to you and conversing with you about the latest trends in the regulatory landscape in Gift City. Bhavika, are you able to fix your camera or
not really, Amisha? I'm really sorry for that, but I've been given to understand that it might require my laptop to be restarted.
Okay.
So I guess we'll have to do without having to, being able to switch on to my camera.
Okay, sure. I understand these technical glitches do happen. However, let's try to. I know at the end of the day, what we are here to is to hear your views. So no worries at all. As India's financial ecosystem is evolving, and I want to just give a quick gist of the conversation today for the benefit of the CFP professionals who are hearing us today, that as India's ecosystem is evolving, Gift City and National Stock Exchange, International Exchange are at the forefront of unlocking unprecedented opportunities in the financial sector. NSE IX is universal multi-assets exchange. It is, as I mentioned, it is based in Gift GIFT City. It offers access to the global financial instruments. It is recognized by the International Financial Service Center Authority, IFSCA. Just wanted to share one quick stat here that on September 25th, 2024, NSE IX achieved a record open interest of 3,99,188 contracts, and I think it's huge. So, Bhavika, once again, it is an honor to get deep dive into the opportunities and insights that we are going to talk about, whether it is latest financial products or the regulatory landscapes shaping the international investments. So, my first question to you is. NSE IX is playing a pivotal role in the GIFT City and as a global financial hub. And can you elaborate on how it enhances the India's global investment landscape? I would love to hear your views.
But first and foremost, let me tell you that it is my honor to be speaking to you with the illustrious, introduction that we just got. It is my pleasure to be speaking to you, and a very good evening to all the attendees who've taken out time today to listen to me. So what I'll do is I'll try to make it a more of a candid heart-to-heart conversation with not much reliance on statistics, though they are important. But before I really go on to what NSE IX is doing here in the GIFT City, let me just set the context by talking a little bit about GIFT itself. Right. So GIFT IFSC, as all of us know, is the maiden international financial services center in India. And it is modeled on the lines of global financial centers like Dubai, Hong Kong, Singapore, right? And the aim of setting up this was set up by our honorable Prime Minister when he conceived of this, the whole idea of GIFT City when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. And this was set up with an aim to be providing world-class infrastructure and financial services. So we've seen growth of a lot of international financial services centers like particularly Singapore, Dubai, which have thrived on opening their doors to international investors, institutional investors with ease of business. So that is the context in which GIFT IFSC has been set up to be able to bring back the financial services, the export of financial services back to the onshore. So essentially, in one word, the vision behind GIFT is onshoring the offshore. So having said that, the journey of GIFT started somewhere in 2015. So it'll be about completing 10 years now. And in this period, we've actually seen a phenomenal growth. Though I said no stats, but just a few stats. If we were to look at the quarter from October to December, and this data I've taken from the IFSCA website, the said quarter, saw cumulative banking transactions of $120 billion, which is by no means a small feat.
Wow.
So if I was to talk of the exchanges, the monthly turnover on the exchanges in GIFT IFSC stood at around 85.99 billion. Of which I'm really proud to say 96-97% of this turnover is contributed by my exchange, which is the NSE International Exchange, NSE IFSC. Right.
Amazing.
Similarly, GIFT has a very thriving fund management industry. So we have more than almost 140 odd fund management entities which are registered here. Who've raised a total cumulative, remittances of almost $14 billion. So when I talk about these stats in, various forums, people are actually caught by surprise because nobody actually believes it to be true.
Absolutely.
So people have heard of GIFT IFSC because invariably it is in all, every day you'll find some or the other article in the news or some tax incentives being, handed over to GIFT. But nobody actually, considers the amount of work that is being done here. So with that context, I'll now come to my exchange.
Correct.
NSE IFSC Limited has been set up as an international exchange. We commenced our operations in June 2017. And we were set up with a vision to become a preferred financial gateway for both inbound and outbound investments. So to that extent, We operate from an international financial services zone, and our aim is to be catering to both domestic investors as well as international investors. To that extent, the product range that we have is aimed at both international investors as well as the domestic investors. And the classic example would be the Nifty, which was getting traded very heavily in Singapore. Nifty 50 is the flagship index of our parent entity NSE, and it is a common household name nowadays. But I'm not sure how many of you would know that the volumes that Nifty 50 was doing on the Singapore exchange were way more than what was happening on the NSE. So we were set up with a very daunting task of getting these volumes back to India. And with the SGX Connect, which we took live somewhere in July 2023, we have been able to get these volumes back to the onshores, thereby providing a very good liquid pool for trading in Nifty indices, right? So, but having said that, since it's a derivatives exchange, this product is not really available to the Indian retail investors. For them, we have a separate product called this. We are offering unsponsored depository receipts on top 50 US stocks. So, as we move further, I'm sure you will have some other questions wherein I'll be able to talk about these products in detail. But having said that, yes, GIFT IFSC as a whole is really moving at a very fast pace. The exchanges here are moving at a very fast pace with the sole aim of opening our shores to financial investors, getting financial investment into the country, and thereby offer opportunities to professionals and to the financial entities together of coming and leveraging these opportunities.
This is so well put, Bhavika. And just to summarize that, indeed the purpose of NSEIS is so evident that on one hand, it's like three-dimensional, that on one hand, you're growing the financial market. There's another dimension, which is to bring fresh capital into India. And the third dimension, which is to allow stock exchanges to trade in securities in any currency other than Indian rupee, which is amazing, because this is something I couldn't have envisaged or imagined probably 15 years ago, happening live and thriving in India at this point in time. So incredible work. I was absolutely flabbergasted to hear some of the things that you just mentioned. It's unbelievably good amount of work that has happened, and in a very, very short span of time. So kudos to you and the team, Bhavika, on this.
Thank you.
My next question actually is to because we've just heard about what GIFT City has been doing and what NSE IX is doing. My question is, how do you see CFP professionals leveraging the opportunities which are being created at GIFT City and by NSE IX in the international financial ecosystem? So what's your view about how CFP professionals can leverage some of these opportunities?
A very good question, Amisha. But a simple answer to that is you can leverage an opportunity only if you know that one exists.
Absolutely.
Right? So having said that, I feel today's webinar is the first step in that direction, because as I told you, I keep speaking to so many people and very few people are actually aware of what is happening in the GIFT City, right? So it's a very, very welcome move by FPSP today to, organize this, wherein at least your professionals, the CFP professionals, can come to know what is happening, right? So once they know that at least there's a fair bit of traction here at GIFT IFSC, what I suggest is that they keep tracking what is happening. Correct. So that they can make best use of the opportunities, right? Now, specifically in terms of what are the opportunities that are available, so I would classify that into various buckets. The entities here are growing. We are always short of talent and skilled talent at that, right? It is actually a very difficult task for the entities here to be getting skilled talent, and who else is a better fit than professionally qualified people like CFPs. So there are job opportunities, one. Second, there are consultancy opportunities because by the inherent nature of the CFP course, what I believe is a lot of the attendees today may want to get into some kind of wealth management consultancy, financial planning, so on and so forth, right? So to that extent, another area that opens up is consultancy to the clients in terms of what are the investment opportunities available here. Right.
Absolutely.
So in terms of the products that are available here, because see, as I said, today we have number of products available, and for each of these products, the client mix is not the same. Say, for example, I said we have unsponsored depository receipts on NSE IFSC receipts, right? They are available only to the Indian retail investors under LRS. But having said that, we have derivative contracts on Nifty indices where both foreign investors can invest and these NRIs can invest. Your eligible foreign investors can invest, right? So
Sure.
depending on what kind of a clientele you have, you can always provide consultancy in terms of the investment opportunities that are available here. And having said that, third area that could be a probable opportunity for the CFP professionals would be coming and setting up an entity here. So for
Amazing.
that, I will just take some time in talking about the evolving regulatory landscape here, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
unlike in India, wherein we have sectoral regulators like SEBI regulating the capital markets, RBI regulating the banks, so on and so forth, here we have a single unified regulator in IFSC authority. Right, so whatever is happening here on the financial services front is regulated by the by IFSCA. So to that extent, and IFSCA being a developmental regulator, they are aligning the permitted activities here to what is available in the international jurisdictions. So unlike in India, here we have a regulatory landscape which allows entities to come and register as ancillary services. Under ancillary services, you could be providing, say, compliance, consultancy, secretarial services, auditing, accounting, taxation, bookkeeping, right? All these kind of services, an entity registered here under the ancillary services could be offering these kind of services to their clients. So this is again something which the CFPs can look at, and added advantage would be the tax benefits. So any entity which is set up here enjoys a tax-free, zero tax holiday for a period of 10 years out of a block of 15 years. So I would say that opportunities are galore,
Yeah.
but it depends on whosoever wants to come and seize these opportunities. And I believe this is the right time because we're still growing, we're still offering a lot of opportunities, and anybody who comes in at this stage would have an early mover advantage.
Absolutely. I can't agree more with you, Bhavika. I think, and also, I think the whole collaboration of and the association of FPSB India and NSE IX, more in a formal way, which is underway, I think is going to further add to the whole dynamics of how CFP professionals can leverage some great opportunities at the Gift City and at with NSCIS. What is any view that you have on the association? Do you want to talk about some of the exciting things that we are looking forward to do together?
Oh, no, really, this is a very, very welcome move, because together we can actually create very good awareness of what is happening in GIFT. And
Absolutely.
in the process, we can help people come and leverage the opportunities that GIFT IFSC is offering. So,
Correct.
in terms of the MOU that we have, we would actually want all your CFP professionals to become our ambassadors to the world, to their clients in creating awareness. And we, on our front, would also help them in case they want to come and visit the exchange, have an understanding of what we are doing. We would be more than happy to welcome them.
Fantastic. Fantastic is the word, Bhavika. I think this whole collaboration is going to be like a game changer, an unprecedented game changer, because we are doing like on one side there is a huge gap from talent perspective, which we are providing here. It would also this whole go-to market and a holistic go-to market, which CFP professionals can go ahead and do with NSE IX products, which I'm just going to talk to you about, and then actually having in reality a globally integrated financial planning profession, and an ecosystem which is not there, which was not there, and which we are getting created. So I think this is great, this is fantastic. And I think we all would love to know about the introduction of different financial products by NSE IX, and if you can highlight some of the key offerings and the significance for the investors, and how one can integrate probably NSE IX products into their clients' portfolio when they are going ahead and advising and consulting on wealth management strategies. Yeah.
Sure. Now, see, as I said, we were set up in 2017. We essentially started off, on the lines of international exchanges as a universal multi-asset exchange. By multi-asset, universal exchange, what I mean to say is that, I'm sure you would be aware that when you trade in India, what happens is that the exchanges are supposed to be offering each asset class in a different segment, right? So you have a derivative segment, you have a cash segment, you have a debt segment, right?
Sure.
So, and what happens is for each of these segments, you need to provide separate deposits and separate collaterals.
Absolutely.
However, internationally, what happens is most of the exchanges are universal exchanges. So, by a universal exchange, what I mean is that we have a single trading platform, and all the asset classes that we offer are traded on a single platform.
Sure.
So how does it help our broker dealers? It gives them, efficiency of collaterals. So today you may want to trade, say, equity derivatives. You'll use your collateral for equity derivatives, right? Now tomorrow you may see an opportunity in currency derivatives. So with the same collateral, whatever free collateral is available, you could use that for the currency derivatives. So you get efficiency of collaterals, and this is a very very key fact because in international exchanges volumes are huge. So
Correct.
accordingly, the opportunities come back very fast. So you are able to leverage those opportunities when you have available collateral, right? Because you will be able to take positions only if you have available collateral. So this multi-assetted universal exchange will provide you that. So by multi-assetted, again, I said we offer multiple asset classes, be it index derivatives, be it single stock futures and options, currency derivatives. Then we have a very robust debt segment, right, wherein we have almost 60 billion worth of debt programs have already been listed, of which I would say around 25 to 30 billion has already been raised through this exchange, right?
Absolutely.
But all these products that I talked of are essentially geared towards the international investors and the NRIs.
Understood.
So, but as I said earlier, by my word, that we want to do both inbound and outbound investments. So, for Indian investors, we have a very unique product by way of offering trading in unsponsored depository receipts on top 50 global stocks. So, just I'll elaborate on
Yes.
this.
Yes.
So today, what happens in India, if some client wants to, invest in, say, US stocks, so they are doing this through platforms like Interactive Broking, Stockel, and a few other platforms, which essentially are not regulated platforms,
Correct.
right? So these are not blessed by SEBI. One. Secondly, what happens is in such a scenario, the clients give their money, the stocks are bought, but the stocks are actually not held in the investor's own demat account. These are held with the broker dealer in their own, say probably in US.
Sure.
So the comfort that investors have, say, because Indian investors particularly are very comfortable seeing their holding in their own demat account, right?
Correct.
With each movement in the stock, they will open their demat statement to see what
Correct.
is the stock that they have, right? So
Correct.
they're very comfortable with that, and they're very comfortable in trading in regulated environments, right? So given this requirement, we conceived this product of unsponsored depository receipts on global stocks under the IFSCA's regulatory sandbox, because this was to be tested. This was a very unique product in terms of allowing Indian retail investors to open their demat accounts here, right?
Absolutely. Correct.
So this was a very unique proposition, and the stocks being traded on a regulated stock exchange.
Correct.
So the advantage of trading on a regulated stock exchange is, all of us would agree, would know that in case there is any kind of a default, the exchange has its own investor protection fund out of which it tries to help out the investors, right?
Got it.
So to that extent, how this product works is that you actually don't invest in the actual stock, but we have created a depository, unsponsored depository receipts on these global stocks, top 50 global US stocks, and these are listed on the exchange. So as an Indian investor, what you need to do is you need to open an account, a trading account, with a broker dealer who's registered with NSE IX here in GIFT IFSC, and we have quite a few reputed names which are already onboarded as broker dealers with us. The list is available on our website. So what you have to open a trading account, and you have to open a demat account. We have our own IIDI, India International Depository, here in GIFT IFSC. So you open a demat account with any of the depository participants registered with the depository.
Okay.
And to make the process very, very simple, what we do is that if it is the same broker through whom you're trading in India, you really need not reinvent the whole wheel. You've already done your KYC with the broker. So you just simply need to give one single pager consent to the broker saying that you're interested in trading in the or investing in the NSE IFSC receipts. So with that single pager, the broker dealer will be able to open your account, and you will need to transfer funds by way of LRS. So that is an important point which may be noted, that this investment that you do would be under the liberalized remittance scheme of RBI.
Absolutely.
Right. So under LRS, the funds would required to be, the clients need not open a bank account here. The funds will be moved to the broker's account, and broker on behalf of the investor would invest, and the depository receipts per se after the settlement would be credited to the investor's demat account here.
Got it.
Yeah. So as of now, the product, we've tested it for a year or so. We launched this product in March 2022. And last year, because it was doing very well in terms of the number of clients that were getting onboarded by the brokers, so the regulator decided to move it out of the regulatory sandbox. And today, it is a full-fledged product that we have as an offering to the Indian retail investors. And another very good thing about this product is that we have enabled fractionalization. By fractionalization, what I mean is that, say, if a particular stock is costing, say, $300, $400 in US, so it may really not be affordable for a small retail Indian investor. So what
Correct.
we have done is we have fractionalized for each share. We have bifurcated it into a number of depository receipts. Say, for example, 10 depository receipts, 20 depository receipts, so that each depository receipt will be priced at almost, say, around $5 to $10, which is pretty
Wow.
affordable for even a
Absolutely.
small retail investor, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Correct.
So as in when you accumulate, say, 10 DRs or 20 DRs, and if you want it to be converted into a proper share, it can get converted. But the only thing is that for holding the actual share, you will need to have an account with the international depositories, because the depository here does not recognize international ISINs. However,
Understood.
having said that, that I don't really see as a roadblock, because you've bought the depository receipts here. You can hold them as depository receipts in your demat account, and as and when you feel there's an opportunity to be making some profits, you can sell them from your own demat account here. So that is one product. And another very big achievement for us was the enablement of the SGX Connect. So with SGX Connect, what we have done is the trading in Nifty indices that was happening on the Singapore exchange has been totally moved to our exchange now. So now Nifty 50 is getting traded in rupee terms in India and in dollar terms in GIFT IFSC. Apart from these two exchanges, no other exchange in the world is offering trading in Nifty.
Wow.
And the kind of response that we have seen is really really amazing, because on an average, if you ask me, we are doing average daily volumes of around 3 to 4 billion USD every day.
Incredible.
And for the first year of Connect going live last year, somewhere in July 24, the cumulative turnover that we had done for the year was exceeding $1 trillion.
Wow.
Again, statistics which
Correct.
very few people believe,
Correct. Correct.
but
Correct.
that's the reality. So these are the two products which we are already available. Apart from the currency derivatives, we have derivative tradings on 11 currency pairs. We
Absolutely.
have DRs listed here. And going forward, we are again looking at equity listings. So today, majority of our trading happens in derivative contracts. But again, given the regulatory landscape, now IFSC has come out with listing regulations which permit both foreign companies as well as Indian companies, both listed as well as unlisted companies, to list here. Right. So as far as the regulatory landscape goes, for listing of foreign companies as well as listing of unlisted Indian companies, the road is, so they can come and list here. For listed companies, we are again, in the process of discussions, between the regulators in terms of setting up an operational, guidelines for the same, because it's the same entity which is listed in India and which would be listed here. So to that extent, it will fall under two regulators. So the two regulators are kind of sorting out how operationally it can be made possible. But as far as foreign companies and unlisted companies go, they can come and list here. And our next milestone would be equity listings.
That'll be very, very interesting to see how that takes off in India. Yeah, that'll be something to look at. Yeah, absolutely. And when do you think this is going to be released? Like, would it be in 2025, latter part of it?
The listings?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, that would be too far. What we are looking at is, as early as somewhere in the beginning of the next financial year.
Oh,
But
wow.
see, having said that, because this is going to be that would be the first
Correct,
equity listing.
correct,
So first always comes with a little bit of trepidation,
correct.
with a little bit of apprehensiveness how it'll go. But I'm positive that once we have the first listing, then that'll open the floodgates.
Fantastic. Yes, absolutely. I think we're looking forward to it, and also I must say that the kind of regulatory developments that have happened, the landscape in itself, it has significantly enhanced the access both for Indian as well as international investors. Like be it liberalized investment framework or be it tax efficiency. In fact, I'm going to talk to you about tax efficiency and the other regulatory nuances. But yeah, be it a framework which is very, very liberal, tax efficiency, fractionalization approach that we just discussed, so that it becomes very, very attractive even for a small time retail investor. I think all that is a huge. We are pretty much looking at we are sitting at a cusp of a huge exponential growth. It is about just getting. It's like probably right now it is not as big, but I think in years to come, this is going to be like a mainstream investment hub, absolutely, and not just for India, but overall globally. So, do you want to talk about any regulatory developments at NSE IX, which is actually facilitating already an easier access for Indian and international investors in the GIFT City?
No, so see, it is an ongoing task for us. As I said, see, I mean, we have to be aligning ourselves to the international markets because the today, lucracy of say Singapore markets or Dubai markets lies in their ease of doing business, lies in the fact that they've opened their borders for easy access, right?
Correct.
So the regulatory landscape here in gift is an ever evolving landscape,
Right.
keeping in mind what we need to do in being able to offer international products, but again within the ambit of the regulatory landscape, right? It is not a very easy task. It's easier said than done, right? Because from the regulatory perspective, when you're opening up, there are a lot of risks that need to be taken care of. Let's say most important being your AML CFT
Correct.
risks, right?
Correct.
But having said that, as I said earlier also, IFSCA as a regulator is a developmental regulator, and they're always supportive of what we go to them with, be it a new product, be it any changes to the existing products that we may want. So on that front, a very very a path breaking thing that they've just allowed us last year is the remote trading participants. Now, again, it's a path-breaking initiative because till now, the regulators were really not very comfortable in allowing people to access this jurisdiction from a remote jurisdiction, right?
Correct.
Because that involves a lot of risks in terms of AML, CFT, and other risks. But having said that, we went to the regulator, explained that this was a normal, in the international jurisdictions, be it Singapore, be it Japan Stock Exchange, or any other stock exchange, wherein they do allow certain participants to access their exchange in a remote manner. So, with that, the regulator allowed us to onboard remote trading participants. So, what it means is that any entity which is regulated in its home jurisdiction and wants to access the NSE International Exchange sitting in their own respective jurisdiction for their proprietary trading has
Correct.
now been enabled. They
Understood.
need not come here. See, because earlier the apprehension that people had, say for example, entities which have already set up their base in Singapore or in Dubai, or for that matter in any other financial services center, right? Now, moving lock, stock, and barrel or a branch to a different financial jurisdiction is a very difficult task, right? Particularly because these institutional investors are
True.
very very tax averse. They look at jurisdiction risk, they look at financial risk, they look at counterparty risk, right? They look at a lot of the risks involved, so
Correct.
they are not very very keen on shifting the jurisdictions, right? So some of
Absolutely.
these participants had actually approached us stating that they're surely looking at the liquidity that is building up on our exchange, and they would surely want to trade Nifty. And I mean, Nifty, given the India growth story, everybody wants to be trading
Yeah.
Nifty, right? So,
Correct.
but the only obstacle was that they were really not keen on moving lock, stock, and barrel to GIFT IFSC. Now,
Understood.
these entities have been permitted in case they are wanting to trade only in their proprietary accounts. They have been permitted to, access our exchange from the remote jurisdiction through our co-location facility. So
Got
exchange, we as an exchange offer co-location facility wherein you can put up your servers in our premise, and then you can access the exchange through the servers placed in our co-location. So this is something which is a recent regulatory change, and it is actually coming up in a big way. We are seeing a lot of interest from foreign participants for becoming the remote trading participants on our exchange.
Excellent, excellent. This is great. Uh, we just it's just very very curious to know that as we also like we have CFP professionals who are hearing us today. Do you have any guidance? to provide on the topic that when CFP professionals are guiding their clients in helping them with their financial planning portfolio, if there are any kind of risk management strategies, or if there are any kind of potential risk while they are considering dealing with NSCIS and Gift City opportunities, are there any red flags, or is there anything that they should be considering before they go ahead and advise their clients that Gift City is the place to invest?
See, this is a very sorry. This is a very pertinent question, Amisha, because more often than I see, financial services is a highly regulated area, right?
Correct.
So it is very important, both as an investor, as well as a consultant, as well as a financial planner, to be aware of what all is permitted and what all is not permitted, right? So see, because more often than not, what happens, the trust in the system is lost just because you happen to give a wrong advice, right? So I've been in the financial services market for more than 28 years now. I have encountered a lot of investors who have actually, I would say, not really because of some ill intent of the consultant or the advisor, but because of the ignorance of the applicable rules, regulations.
Absolutely.
Has been there has been a problem, and the investor has lost trust in the entire financial system, right?
Absolutely.
So
Correct.
we as flag bearers, particularly the financial planners, wealth management planners, and so they have a very big responsibility in terms of being able to offer the right kind of advice to
Absolutely.
the investors. So it is very important for such people to be aware of the regulatory landscape, what is permitted and what is not permitted. For example, I will give a simple example. Under LRS, right? It investments in equity is permitted, but any margin based investment is not permitted. So by that, what I mean is that if an Indian investor today was to come to you and say that we've heard that Nifty 50 is very liquid in Gift City, and we want to trade Nifty in the Gift City. So you, as a financial planner, would simply have to put your foot down, saying that it is not permitted under LRS, because LRS does not permit margin-based trading, and derivatives essentially is a margin-based trade, right? So this is one example that I have given you. How, on the other side, a positive example would be that you have an NRI who's coming in, and who would be saying that I want to invest in India. I say I want to invest in derivatives in India, right? I want to say. So you could, as a planner, suggest them that you can always come to Gift City as well, because of the fact that Gift Nifty is traded in dollar terms,
Absolutely.
and secondly, it is 95-96% cheaper, because we don't have securities transaction tax, we don't have capital gains, we don't have stamp duty, which
Absolutely.
makes this very same Nifty much more cheaper here. Right.
Absolutely.
So this was
Absolutely.
just an example in terms of, if you know all these nitty-gritties, then only you will be able to consult your clients, give a proper, consultation to your clients. So my request would be, and it doesn't take much. See, because if you were to talk of gift IFSC, we have 3 or 4 main regulations which are applicable, right? So it would be capital market intermediary regulations, it will be fund management regulations, and listing regulations to some extent, right?
Absolutely.
And I mean, it is not a daunting task for people who clear, CFP. For them,
Correct.
going through these regulations, I'm sure, is a piece of cake,
Right. Right.
right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct, correct. No, that's a great advice. In fact, my next question was that if there is any other advice, a final advice that you want to give to the CFP professionals before we move on to few questions that we see on the screen. But before that, is there any final advice to the CFP professionals?
Yes, again, as you know, I started off with saying that this is going to be a heart-to-heart conversation.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
answer to this will actually come from my heart, because, as I said, I am a hardcore finance professional, and a considerable portion of my career has gone in dealing with the investors, right? So, my personal belief is that financial planning is all about trust. So,
Yeah.
and it is all about value creation for your client,
Right. Right.
right? So, as long as you're able to create value for your client, I'm sure they will go overboard and will want to pay you more than what you ask for. Because I've seen a few, brokers who do charge more brokerage than what is prevalent in the market, only on the basis of the value that they have created for their clients,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So my as I said, straight from my heart is, don't think about money, think about value creation for the client. Money will surely follow.
Great, great, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think that's a great piece of advice, and a lot of respect for you for bringing up this kind of an advice. I think, and I also love the fact that you did say that we have to do our homework right before we go ahead and advise anything to our clients, and all the information is available on the website, right? If we have to go ahead and embrace yourself with any kind of regulatory information, products available, all that is available on the website. Is there any other domain that you think we should go ahead and
Not really. I mean, I don't think that is. We live in an era of information. You
right,
will find plethora of information available on various
right,
websites. If you just
right,
look at IFSCA website, you look at NSE IX website, you will
right.
find the required information there.
Super great.
Gone are the days wherein internet was not accessible, or you had to
Correct,
pay through your nose for accessing internet.
correct.
Everything is very easily available today.
Amazing. I think this was a fantastic conversation, Bhavika, and as you said, it was a nice heart-to-heart conversation. I think I myself have learned a lot during this conversation. I must say so. I think it was fabulous talking to you, and I do see a few questions, and we have another 10 minutes. If we can quickly take these questions,
Sure, sure,
that'd
sure.
be great. Over to you, Sanya, for taking the questions.
So indeed, it was an interesting discussion to hear in the background. We have received around 17 questions here.
Oh my.
So we are not going to take all of them, of course, because the time won't permit us. But yes, we can pick a few from them. I'll quickly just read out the questions, and if you can answer in short or in brief, that would be
Sure,
great.
sure, sure.
Yeah. So one of these questions, it says need to know about the taxation part of NSE IX listings.
No, so as far as the taxation goes, as I said, for any entity which is set up here, enjoys a 10-year tax holiday. And after that, I think there's a MAT of, I think, 8 or 9%, right?
Okay.
That
Yeah.
goes on the entity which is set up here. So in terms of, if you are asking me from the investment perspective, so there are no capital gain, there is no capital gains, or both short term, long term. But having said that, when you repatriate money back to the country, whatever are the taxation laws as per that country will be applicable.
Okay, perfect. The second question here is, do you intend to allow free trading of currencies in the SDR basket?
No, so see, that will depend on the regulator. As of now, we have 11 currencies that the regulator has permitted. So day end, whatever product that we offer, right, is basis the regulatory approvals.
Okay, that answers it. And we have here, how does NSE IX assess the risk posed by global economic events like global financial crisis or geopolitical tensions? So they want to know this too.
So see, as an exchange, the market is, driven by all this news. So even if I was not really looking at all this, which I'm not saying we don't look, it is our bread and butter, right? Particularly because I'm a regulatory person, and surveillance, market surveillance happens to be one of my key profiles. See, all this gets reflected in the market is very, very sensitive. Before anybody comes to know, the prices reflect that something is in the offing. So as a part of our surveillance mechanism, we have various alerts inbuilt into the system. We monitor price movements, we have market replay, and various other alert mechanisms by which we look at the price movements.
That's great. We have another one here. Do we have ETFs listed on the exchange?
As of now, no, but that is again in the offing. We are talking to a few ETF providers who are wanting to create ETFs here. They are actively talking to the regulators. They're actively talking to us. See, as far as the exchange goes, we are, the trading system per se will enable listing of ETFs. But there are, certain other requirements in terms of getting the regulatory clearances, going to the regulator. That I believe is some of the entities are already talking to the regulator for that. But
Okay.
having said that, yes, as a part of our this NSE IFSC receipts, we are looking at offering depository receipts on a few, global ETFs.
Okay.
Very soon, we will be introducing DRs on some of the very big global ETFs.
Okay. There's also a question about DRs. Why is it called unsecured DRs?
Yeah. So why it is called it's not unsecured, it's unsponsored this thing depository receipts. Why I'm saying this is because, as I said earlier, the company per se is not involved. These are the DRs which are not issued by the company. If I'm saying that, say for example, UDRs of Apple, which are listed on our exchange. So these DRs are not issued by Apple. But what happens is we have a market maker who has an underlying inventory of these shares. So this market maker, what they will do is they will offer these shares to the global custodian who will put these shares under freeze, and basis the underlying inventory of these shares, the custodian here in GIFT IFSC will issue the DRs. So that is why they're unsponsored depository receipts, because they're not actually issued by the company, but they are issued basis the inventory of a market maker.
Okay.
However,
That's
having
right.
said that, this from the investor perspective, it doesn't make any. Doesn't make much of a difference, because as it's a regulated product, right? It's traded on an exchange. So if tomorrow something was to happen to the market maker as an exchange, I would, come to fulfill the obligation, right? And all the corporate benefits that would be announced for the underlying shares, the investors will get the benefit of all those corporate actions. So from the investor perspective, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Okay. And we'll take the last question here. Mr. Anand Kumar here is saying GIFT City, NSE IX, and FPSB is like a new opportunity triangle, and gives a new dimension to the Viksit Bharat mission that all of us are, adhering to, started by our Honorable Prime Minister. So where do you foresee all these activities and positions of GIFT and the position of GIFT City in the next 5 years?
So, it would be very difficult for anybody, given the pace that we are moving at. Say 5 years back, personally, I'm telling you, for people who actually were getting opportunities here, were very skeptical. And there would be so many people who would come to me whether we should take it. We don't know what is the fate of GIFT City, whether it is going to be there in 5 years or not. But today people are actually wanting, and we are seeing people moving out of metros and coming here and taking up the job opportunities. So if not anything else, for next 5 years, I'm sure we will see an unprecedented growth here in GIFT IFSC, for the simple reason, the entities which have already set up here have put in a considerable amount of capital, considerable amount of time, and considerable amount of effort in setting up their operations here. And given the amount of capital and the amount of effort that has put in, I don't think it'll be easy for any of those entities to wind up and go back. So we are here to stay, and as long as we're here to stay, opportunities will arise, and it is for people to come and seize these opportunities.
I'm sure about that because we have visited the GIFT City as a team last year for our conclave with IFSCA, and we have we have seen the development out there, and it is at par with international standards. So yes, the capital investment has been made, and of course, all our metro cities are getting crowded day by day, and we do look forward to GIFT
No,
City,
Sanya, if you come
flourishing.
in another 1 year, you will see a drastic difference, because we are seeing, in another year and a half, we'll have almost another 30 towers coming up.
Okay.
So I'm sure next time you come here, you will have to look for your way around.
Yes, certainly. I'll be there to witness that.
In fact, I would
Uh,
invite others also, all the attendees. If there are some of them from Ahmedabad, from Gujarat, it is their home, so they should actually come and visit.
yes, true. I think we can conclude with the questions here, Amisha.
Yes,
If you want to
absolutely.
ask anything or anything add in here, or else I'll conclude the webinar.
Yeah, I think we can do that. Bhavika, thank you so much for again patiently answering all the questions. I think this is amazing, and thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I look forward to host you again pretty soon.
Thank you very much, and I really want to thank all the attendees who took out time, today to be with us. And it would really be amiss of me if I don't thank FPSB because, in fact, they've been the ones who've given me this opportunity to be talking to such a large, esteemed gathering. Thank you very much, and I look forward to doing much more, with you guys in the times to come.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Bhavika. Thank you, Sanya. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone who have joined us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Amisha. Just before we wrap up, I would just like to say that we are excited to share that FPSB India is hosting the much-awaited FPSB India Summit 2.0, and it is to be held on 7th of April at KG Somaiya Institute of Management in Mumbai. And this event gives you a unique opportunity to meet and greet Dante De Gori, the global CEO of FPSB Limited, where he gives you where he discusses the key global trends that are shaping the financial planning profession and the growing significance of the CFP certification. And as we have the limited seats available now, we encourage you to please register as soon as possible before the registration stops. So we look forward to seeing you at the summit. And additionally, I would like to inform you that those looking to earn the CPD points, the recording of the session will be available on your learning portal very soon. And additionally, the video will also be uploaded on our official YouTube channel for a broader access by tomorrow. So till then, stay connected, stay informed, and continue your journey of learning in the dynamic world of finance. So we hope you had a great day. We can now conclude the webinar.